What is vehicle to grid, also known as V2G, and how you could possibly make money from this technology? Come along as we unpack it together in this video. Right now, your EV is probably parked in your driveway or sitting in the garage doing absolutely nothing, just losing value. But what if it could actually pay for your morning coffee or even your weekly grocery bill? Wouldn't that be nice? Of course it would. You've probably seen the wild headlines claiming your EV is a secret money-making machine that's going to replace traditional power stations. I'm talking about V2G technology, or vehicle to grid. The internet loves to claim this tech turns your electric car into an ATM on wheels. But before you start planning how to spend your new fortune, we need to clear up a massive misunderstanding that's setting a lot of people up for disappointment. Today, we're busting the myths, looking at the actual tech under the hood, and figuring out if you can really make money from this. Let's unpack it together. In this episode, we are going to breaking down the following. Section 1. What vehicle to grid really is. Section 2. Why vehicle to grid technology exists. Section 3. How vehicle to grid technology works. Section 4. The technical layer most people never talk about. Section 5. Why it matters for EV owners. Section 6. Limitations, misconceptions, and who benefits most. By the end of this video, you won't just know the term, you'll understand the entire system that allows an EV battery to become part of the electrical grid. This is episode 42 of the EV Basics What Is series. Let's break it down properly. Section 1. What is vehicle to grid? Vehicle to grid, often shortened to V2G, is a technology that allows an electric vehicle to both charge from the electrical grid and send electricity back into the grid when needed. Unlike normal charging, electricity can flow in both directions under controlled conditions. Think of your EV battery as a large energy storage system on wheels. Most of the time it stores electricity for driving, but during periods of high electricity demand, some of that stored energy can be exported back to the grid. In return, the owner may be compensated for supplying electricity or making the battery available as a grid resource. One common misunderstanding is that vehicle to grid is the same as bidirectional charging. It isn't. Bidirectional charging is the hardware capability to move electricity in both directions. Vehicle to home powers your house. Vehicle to load powers external appliances. Vehicle to grid specifically exports electricity into the public grid while meeting utility requirements. In other words, vehicle to grid is one application of bidirectional charging, not a different technology. Section 2. Why V2G technology exists. So, why was vehicle to grid developed? The answer lies in one of the biggest challenges facing modern electricity networks. Electricity demand constantly changes. During the evening, millions of homes switch on lights, appliances, air conditioners, and EV chargers at the same time, creating what's known as peak demand. Traditionally, utilities meet this demand by building additional power stations that may only operate for a few hours each day. These are expensive to build, costly to maintain, and often produce higher emissions. Meanwhile, most electric vehicles spend over 90% of their time parked with large amounts of unused battery capacity. Engineers realized those parked batteries could help support the grid instead of building more standby generators. The grid gains extra energy storage, renewable energy becomes easier to manage, and owners can earn financial rewards. Vehicle to grid also helps balance renewable energy. solar and wind generation naturally fluctuate, while batteries can store excess electricity and return it when demand increases. Thousands of connected EVs can therefore act as one large distributed battery. Section 3. How V2G technology works. Let's walk through the process. First, the owner plugs the EV into a vehicle-to-grid compatible bidirectional charger. Unlike a conventional charger, it can both charge the battery and convert battery power back into grid-compatible alternating current. Next, communication begins between the charger, the vehicle, and the electricity network. Before exporting any electricity, the software checks battery health, state of charge, the owner's departure time, grid demand, and whether energy export has been approved. Only when these conditions are satisfied does electricity begin flowing back to the grid. For example, you arrive home with 80% battery remaining and tell the system you'll need at least 60% by 7 o'clock the next morning. During the evening peak, the charger exports a small amount of energy while continuously monitoring battery level and grid conditions. Later, when demand falls or electricity becomes cheaper, the battery is automatically recharged to your requested level before departure. The entire process happens automatically, which is why vehicle-to-grid relies heavily on intelligent software, communication systems, and energy management, rather than simply reversing the flow of electricity. Section 4. The technical layer most people never talk about. This is where the engineering becomes really interesting. Your EV battery stores direct current electricity while the electrical grid distributes alternating current. That means battery power cannot be fed directly into the grid. Instead, a bidirectional inverter performs the conversion. When charging, it converts alternating current into direct current. When exporting power, it converts direct current back into perfectly synchronized alternating current. That synchronization is critical. The exported electricity must match the grid's voltage, frequency, and waveform. If it doesn't, the system disconnects immediately for safety. Another important concept is grid frequency. In many countries around the world, the grid normally operates at 50 Hz. When electricity demand exceeds generation, the frequency falls. When generation exceeds demand, it rises. Vehicle-to-grid systems can respond within seconds by supplying or absorbing electricity to help stabilize the grid. This is known as frequency regulation. The battery management system also protects battery health by limiting discharge depth, monitoring temperature, voltage, current, and cell balance. If any operating limit is reached, power export is automatically reduced or stopped. Although vehicle-to-grid looks simple from the outside, it depends on advanced power electronics, intelligent software, and continuous battery protection. Section 5. Why it matters for EV owners. Vehicle-to-grid has the potential to change how people think about EV ownership. Instead of being just transportation, your EV can also become an energy asset. In regions where vehicle-to-grid programs are available, owners may receive payments for supporting the grid during periods of high electricity demand. Exactly how much depends on electricity prices, local energy markets, and utility programs. Vehicle-to-grid also helps reduce pressure on electricity infrastructure by spreading demand more evenly throughout the day. For owners with rooftop solar, excess daytime energy can be stored in the EV and later exported when electricity is more valuable. Commercial fleets may benefit even more. Delivery vehicles, government fleets, and school buses often remain parked for long periods, allowing their batteries to generate additional income while not in use. As EV adoption grows, vehicle-to-grid could also help integrate more renewable energy while reducing reliance on expensive peaking power stations. Section 6. Limitations, misconceptions, and who benefits most. Now, let's clear up some common misconceptions. The biggest myth is that every electric vehicle supports vehicle-to-grid. That's not true. The vehicle must support bidirectional charging, the charger must be vehicle-to-grid compatible, the local electricity network must approve the connection, and regulations must allow participation. Without all of these, vehicle-to-grid won't operate. Another misconception is that every owner will make significant money. In reality, earnings depend on electricity prices, utility incentives, battery usage, and how often the vehicle participates. Some people also worry that vehicle-to-grid will quickly damage the battery. While every charge and discharge cycle causes some wear, modern battery management systems carefully control battery operation to minimize unnecessary stress and balance long-term battery health with financial benefits. Vehicle-to-grid isn't ideal for everyone. Drivers who regularly need their full battery capacity may see little advantage, and owners without compatible vehicles, chargers, or utility programs won't be able to participate. Those who benefit most are owners with predictable parking schedules, compatible equipment, and access to approved vehicle-to-grid services. Your thoughts? Before watching this episode, did you think vehicle-to-grid simply meant selling electricity whenever you wanted? Would the possibility of earning money from your EV battery make vehicle-to-grid an important feature in your next electric vehicle? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What's next? Now that you understand vehicle-to-grid, the next logical question is, if millions of electric vehicles start charging at the same time, could they overload the electricity grid and cause blackouts? In the next episode, episode 43, we'll explore what is load management, how cities prevent grid blackouts from EVs. You'll discover how utilities, charging networks, and smart charging systems work together to balance electricity demand, prevent grid overloads, and keep the power flowing even as EV adoption continues to grow. We'll also reveal why many people think building more power stations is the only solution, when smarter load management is often the answer. This is EV Zone, where we don't just define terms, we decode them properly. So, what do you think of this video? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments section below. At EV Zone, we believe open discussions can lead to great discoveries. Here we consider both sides of the coin and welcome all viewpoints to explore new possibilities. In the search for greener driving options, we encourage our audience to join in and share their ideas. Each of us has unique creative contributions to offer. So if you have something to share, reach out to us and we'll make the video to share it with our audience. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey through the world of EVs. Whether you're an enthusiast or simply curious about the future of transportation, stay tuned for more exciting content on EV Zone. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share this video to support our channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.